We are? Hello! Now we're live.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Hope you guys are having a good day today. We got a great show lined up for you today. Today is November 3rd, which is a Thursday. Thursday, folks. And it is Thursday. Yeah.
Boy, it's the third, I meant.
It's coming by pretty quick.
Wow.
We got a great show lined up for you folks. You know, we are so excited everybody gets a chance to tune in every day, Monday to Friday. Little show about big things. And, you know, every Thursday, of course, give it up for my lovely wife,
Good
Laura
afternoon.
Ocean.
So happy to be here on this beautiful day.
It is gorgeous today, man. And you know what? We got a great news that we've been saying. I mean, this whole month has been great when we won the Josie Awards in Nashville, Tennessee for the #1 internet show, independent internet show in the country, the Grand Ole Opry. That was just an honor to have that. And we're just lucky that you guys, and we're honored that you guys are actually watching the show. And you know, Thursdays, I have my co-host with me. So, you know, it's going to be a much better show than when I'm just rambling and grumpy by myself. Anyway, folks,
grumpy every day, honey.
I know. And
with or without me.
And the announcement yesterday was big, folks. You know it's big. The big announcement that we said yesterday on the 16th of November, American Badass. You know what we're talking about? Chicago native actor Michael Madsen. His brand new documentary is coming out on the 16th of November. It's going to be debuted at the Des Plaines Theater. Ron Onesti, BJ Murray, Jimmy Place, and Kyle Mueller is putting this movie debut, American Badass. Tickets, oshows.com. And of course, we'll be opening the show with Mojo's Jukebox and special guest Nick Hodges. But the big news was, besides that we're opening the show, the big news is tomorrow Michael Madsen will be on Ocean's Pit. Right there, Reservoir Dogs, Donnie Brasco, and so many more great films. American Badass from Evanston, Illinois. Originally, Michael Madsen will be on the show tomorrow on the Pit. But today, folks, we got a great show lined up for you because you know what's coming up Tuesday, don't you, folks? Tuesday is vote day. It's November 8th. It's to get off your ass and go vote because we need a change. No, it's not get off your ass. You got to go out and vote, folks. So if we're going to talk about voting and we need a change in this crazy world that we're living in right now. So we've got two great guests on today. They're going to be on about 12:30. So they're going to be on in the middle of the show. I am so honored to have Republican nominee for Supreme Court District, Mark Curran, will be on, folks. Also a Republican nominee for U.S. Congress, 5th District, Tommy Hansen. And they will be on talking to you guys. It's going to be mostly them talking because, you know what, when we're in a show like this, mostly what people say is two things not to talk about, right? Religion and don't talk about politics. But when you got...
At least when I'm here.
At least when she's here. But you know, guys, that when voting is coming up next Tuesday, we know it's very, very important because we need a change. We definitely need a change no matter what side of the fence you're on. And we have two gentlemen here that's going to tell us why, if they get elected, what they can do for the change. And we definitely need a change. Remember, so we're excited about that. Now, before we bring them on, we got a lot of good other stuff to talk about. Tony Ocean, folks, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609. And we got a great, honey. Everything okay with you? How you doing, hon?
Good? I'm doing great.
Oh, you have been busy the last couple of days.
New phone. You guys, we went and got new phone.
She got the new phone. I didn't get my phone yet.
You got your phone. We just haven't done the download yet because it is too difficult. Why does this have to be such a difficult process?
I had 29,000 photos and I don't know how many videos, but I downloaded deleted so much garbage yesterday. So I think I'm down to 19.
They want to charge you. So back in the day, we used to go there, you drop it off, they do the whole thing for you, bing, bang, boom. They want to charge you, but Natalie and I went and we schmoozed a little bit. They were able to help us, but it's still, nothing's completely done yet. It's just.
And I didn't even get the new phone yet, but she did. But she was in that store all day long.
You got the new phone. It's sitting on the counter. We just haven't done the download.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Anyway, folks, Ocean's Pit, Monday through Friday. You know, we have guests on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And, of course, Thursday, my lovely co-host, and she's here with us, of course, Laura. And you know what? We have guests on from all types of life. We have political, we have musicians, we have people 9 to 5. We have all actors, musicians, everybody that's been on the show. That was started in 2020, and we want to thank you all. Let's thank some sponsors, because we got, if it wasn't for our sponsors, folks, and our viewers, what would we be? Nothing without you guys. McCampbell Law Group, Roy McCampbell, attorney at law, statewide law practice that is client-focused and results-driven. Call Roy McCampbell at 708-275-4264. And don't forget my wife's company, Laura Ocean Solutions, increasing profits by reducing credit card fees. Go to Laura Ocean Solutions.
If you never want to shop again.
That's what you got to do. Honey, tell them about Deutz Power Center.
And then our friend Sal over at Deutz Power Center, Great Lakes, servicing the construction and diesel industry in Chicago for the last 100 years. For your Deutz engines, go see our friend Sal at 224-276-6550. I can't see it.
And Deutz, and now what they're saying, which has been here all over social media, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but they're saying like 25 days from now, the diesel, gas will all be gone. Now,
Wow.
I don't know if that's the case.
How?
But folks, if that is the fact, because you're seeing stuff all over social media, different platforms. So I'm not, sometimes you don't know what's real, what isn't. But they're saying that diesel gas is very short. The shortage is coming. And if that's supposed to be the case, there will be no airplanes. There will be no truck drivers. There will be nobody driving. There will be no
there's
diesel.
a shortage in everything else. Why not?
But it will be a crash if that happens, honey. Do you realize it will be a crash?
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, that's because what we have, the new the people that we have in office now. But we're going to talk about that a little later. Anyway, folks, instead of giving you the sponsors through the hour, we want to do them all now, because when we have the representatives on, the nominees, I don't want to interrupt them. So that's Deutz Power Center, folks. Let's not forget Don Esteban Cigars out of Tarpon Springs, Florida, folks. Hand roll cigars delivered right to your home. Call Javier at 727-366-7536. Let's not forget our good buddy, some Airtight Windows, siding and specialist for honesty and quality for the last 30 years. It's Airtight Windows. Great seeing Lou and Dana last night at Jimmy's Place. Thank you so much for that. 708-785-5000, folks. And remember, you can see the show on the Tony Ocean Show page right now, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. You can see it on the Mo Carrara page, which is my personal page. You can see it on LinkedIn now, live. It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube. So there's a bunch of places that you can watch Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Let's not forget Trico Hair Experts out of Rosemont, Illinois, recreating great hair days. Carmela and Anthony from Trico. Give them a call, 773-999-7888, folks. Also, what's important, some new sponsors we just picked up, of course, our good buddy Danny Maggi from Armando Supermarkets. That's 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local and shop local. And then, of course, Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair, folks. Go to crashchampions.com and get all your auto.
Lots of locations, don't they?
A lot of locations. They're also out of state. That's right. Mike and Gigi do a great job at Crash Champions. Great new sponsors. Collision and auto repair. All right, it is Thursday, November 3rd. We are excited, man, for everything that's going on. Like I said, coming up in the last half hour of the show, I am so excited because you know what? Votes coming up, like we said. Our guest going to be at 12:30. We have two coming up. Republican nominee, Supreme Court District, of course, Mark Curran is going to be on our show. I'm excited for him. And also U.S. Congress, 5th District, Republican nominee, Mr. Tommy Hansen. They'll be on the show starting at 12:30. And they'll be, just let them talk, because that's what the politicians do.
So
and,
he's going to have to quiet up. So we
I'm not saying anything.
better hurry up and get him
start
to
the
get
line
on
and let them do it.
We know.
Because we need to change, and we know we need to vote. And Tuesday is right around the corner, 5 days away, November 8th. You got to go out and vote, folks. Because remember, and I'm going to say it once, I might say this a lot during the hour, folks. If you don't vote, then you refuse your right to bitch. Now, I hate to say it that way, but people say, well, I don't like this side. I don't like that side. But if you sit on your ass and you don't vote, well, then you have no right to bitch if either side wins and it's not in your favor.
That one I agree with.
That one, because there's a lot of people, I'm not voting. What do I care? It's important.
And you think your
to
vote
go.
doesn't matter.
Your vote does matter, unless it's rigged like the last election. But besides that, we won't even talk about that. Anyway, we got some good stuff to talk about today. Kim Peterson's a house. Lillian Dennis, vote, baby.
Robert
there you go,
Susan.
Robert. How you doing? Vote,
Lillian.
Susan. We got our good buddies from Jerry.
Jerry Jams. Yeah, a long one up here.
Inventories of diesel and gasoline are down below 5-year averages. And if the entire world were to stop, we would have 25 days worth of diesel. But the world doesn't stop. We're not counting on it stopping. Ed Hertz, a professional energy economist at the University of Houston. All right, so
wow,
there you go. But it's just the point that they're scaring people with this kind of stuff. And, it's just like that. Look, why do you think the new regime that we have now in our government, ladies and gentlemen, wants us to all go cashless? Wants us to go all electric. You know why? Because they can push the button and you're done. That's called control. That's what they're trying to do. With no more cash, with credit cards, if all your cars are electric, they can push the button and go, sorry, world is over. So that's how it is. It's running scarce. Dave Antonelli from Las Vegas. How you doing, Pally? We got Ohio, we got Michigan, we got Santa Barbara watching. All right, welcome to Ocean Spit. Hi, the best couple we love. Well, they love you too, Emo. Phone, Liz, how you doing? Yes, new phones.
Yes, iPhones. Yes. Hey, Daryl.
Daryl Armenstadt, how you doing, my good buddy? I hope you're doing well, the professor. Which
Chris
phone did you
I
get?
went with the 13. They said the 14 still is having some issues, but our one son did go with the 14, and our son-in-law went with the 14, and they're both having some issues. So we did go 13.
We did go 13. So what do you know? And I haven't got mine phone.
But it's too small. I think I might even change it for the bigger one because it's still. Anyway.
First of all, folks, I want to thank everybody that came out to Jimmy's Place yesterday night in Forest Park. I want to thank Jerry Jams. Great job. My buddy Lou from Airtight singing a couple tunes. Great seeing Mr. Marty Malarkey from the head concierge at McCormick Place. We love Marty. Thank you. And my good buddy for 30 years, George Gomez, came out and surprised me from Arizona. It was a great night. We're back there on the 16th of November. So excited. Tonight we'll be at Zaza's in South Barrington, folks, with Jeff Dubray. That's a 7:00 hit. Saturday will be Friday will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Jerry Jams, 8:00. And then Saturday we'll be opening up for John Waite, folks. My band, Mojo's Jukebox, a new band, a new rock band. It's not the Tony Ocean band. It's Mojo's Jukebox. We'll be downstairs at the theater, the Arcada Theater, opening up for the legendary John Waite show. Tickets are oshows.com, and then we'll be up at the Speakeasy. Be a little surprised there. We'll give you some more information on that as it goes. So a lot of stuff to talk about.
I love surprises.
I love surprises too, folks. Let's talk sports real fast, very short. The White Sox have got rid of their manager, Mr. La Russa. He's gone, and their new manager now is from the former Kansas City Royals. Pedro Grifol will be the new manager for the Chicago White Sox. Now, I'm not a White Sox or a Cub fan. I'm a Yankee fan. I got swept by the Houston Astros. And, of course, am I mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm just sad that because they never concentrate on pitching.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
They just don't concentrate on pitching.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, they just concentrate on pitching. They need to concentrate on pitching besides just hitting. Yes, congratulations to the White Sox. All right, honey, a couple things. In the Italian, now since I was, of course, Italian, my wife's Italian, a lot of in the culture, honey, remember growing up, who was more stricter? Would you say your mother or your father?
Oh, my mother.
Your mother was.
My mother, but my father was the German.
Your mother was German.
My father was German. My mother was Italian, so she was the stricter one. But my dad was German, and he was very laid back and easygoing.
See, now me being from Tuscany, Northern Italian, and I speak the language. I still speak to my mother every day or every other day, to my mother. And she's real old school, doesn't drive. Doesn't do her own bills. My sister goes there once a week to do the bills, and we go there to, take her shopping and stuff. She doesn't believe in that. She doesn't have a cell phone. She
doesn't have a microwave.
She still has the phone on the wall,
She doesn't have a dishwasher.
She has a dish. We bought her a dishwasher, but she won't use it because the microwave gives her cancer. I mean, it's just crazy. She's just old school. But me growing up, the question was who was more stricter as Italian parents? Was it the mom and dad? Now you said it was your mother.
My mother.
And your dad was more laid back.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
See, my dad was working at night, and we know my dad used to work for Ganella Baking Company. So he's always working at night. During the day, he would be sleeping. So he would be the most strict. My mom, I used to get away with murder with my mom. Me speaking the Italian language, I would call the principal and say, hello, yes, Maurizio is not feeling good today. He's going to stay home. And they say, okay, Mrs. Carraro. So it would be like.
Yeah, but you also conned your mom into thinking that the 1 to 4, that 1 was Maurizio is numero uno. And he was actually getting a 1, which was called failing.
Well, you guys all remember that when you were growing up in high school and grade school. I remember when it was A, B, C, D, F, right? Right?
Correct.
So those were your grades. A was great and F was bad. But then when I went into high school in Elmwood Park, and I graduated in 81. So when I went into high school, I remember it went to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 was bad, 4 was good. You think 1 would be number 1. So my mom, not understanding the American, the English stuff that's going on in her, still in Elmwood Park, she won't leave the house, So I go, Ma, look, I got straight 1s. Oh, she goes, oh, look at Mauricio, my son, he's numero uno. So they thought, number 1. Until senior year, until my father, one time he looked at my report card in senior year and he realized that 4 was good and 1 was bad. Boy, the slacking I got there.
I'm sure. Yes, Dennis, I am half German. I have to rule the roast myself.
Patrick, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, Patrick.
Mom ruled the roast, yeah. So mom was definitely more, dad was more stricter on my side, and mom was more stricter on your side. Ocean Spit, little show about big things, Monday through Friday. Again, folks, I got to let you guys, see the award. We were so happy and honored to get the Josie Awards. It's the #1 independent internet talk show in the country, and we won for Ocean Spit. We were at Nashville, Tennessee, and we were at the wonderful Grand Ole Opry when I got this award. So thank you to Josie Awards, Tina and Josie, of course. And it was just a thrill. I mean, it was just an honor to get it. It's the Josie Awards is the #1 independent award show for the country for people that are independently in the music business, in fashion, in clothes, in media, and such and such. So again, it's still an honor. It's because of you people that's been watching this show from the beginning and all the sponsors.
Richard Hamlin's in the house.
Richard Hamlin, how you doing, sir? All right, so
guys, are you guys familiar with any airplane etiquette? Do you know if there's such thing as airplane etiquette? There is actually, on the Insider, a passenger went viral for saying she refused to swap seats to have a family all sit together. So now they're talking about having some sort of airplane etiquette.
Well, I mean,
are you supposed to? I mean, if somebody asked me so they can be together with their family, of course I would let them sit there.
Well,
but there might be people that for a reason they need to be in the aisle, or they need to be want to be by the window, or
like me, I have to be in the aisle. You're a window person, I know.
No, I'd rather be in the aisle.
Oh, I like the aisle
because I got to get up to go to the bathroom too many times.
I got it. Well, you know what? It's the same thing. What if you're and I hate to bring this up because you know me. If you know me, this show is unfiltered. My mouth,
No, that's going to be a new up and coming.
It's going to be different now. It's going to
There's only going to be one day of unfiltered for him. Yeah. We have to limit him.
Okay, so starting soon will be non-filter Friday. But anyway, we're not worried about that. What's important thing is for me, I always need to be by the aisle seat, and that's just me. I mean, but you know what? What if you are let's not I don't want to insult anybody, but what if you're a thin person and you get the middle seat? And we talked this last week on the show, and people on both sides, you just might be a little overweight, so it's got to be a little difficult, right?
Absolutely.
So it is what it is. It's not an easy thing, folks. So I'm just excited. Okay, so the next 2 days, today we got a great show lined up for you folks. And tomorrow, yesterday we gave the big news. Tomorrow on Ocean Spit, I think one of the best American actors of all time, Michael Madsen, will be on Ocean Spit tomorrow. And folks from Evanston, a Chicago guy, has got a brand new movie coming out called American Badass. It's going to be debuting all over the country on the 16th. It starts on 16th of November. Of course, it's debuting at the Des Plaines Theater here in Chicago with Mancow Mueller, yours truly with Mojo's Jukebox and Nick Sahajas. So Michael Madsen will be our guest tomorrow. But we got two gentlemen today that we know 5 days from now, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. It's November 8th. And on November 8th, it's called Vote Day, folks. It's called Vote Day because we need a change. You guys know we've been fighting this for how long? And with the people that are in charge right now with the new regime, it just isn't working. It just isn't working on all levels. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you got to ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with this world? And we need change. So we got two gentlemen that's going to be on, two nominees, folks. It's going to be fantastic. Republican nominee, Supreme Court District Mark Curran will be joining us in about 10 minutes or so. And of course, U.S. Congress 5th District, Tommy Hansen, a Republican, both Republican nominees. And like I said, with me, when my guests, I'm going to let them just say what they're there to say, because they are going to be here to tell us what they're going to do for us if elected. And we need change. And these two top-notch guys can get the job done, because that's what we need, change. That's all there is to it. And it's sad that we have to get as crazy as this world has been lately. I mean, since 2020, with inflation and everything. And you guys already know where my heart is and what side I'm on, and you know where I'm going, because I want to make America great. But what I'm trying to say, people, this is what we need. All industry organizations. Yes, Mueller is pronounced Michael.
Oh, so it's not Mueller. I'm sorry, we're pronouncing it wrong.
Sorry.
It's Mueller?
Mueller.
I'm assuming it's Mueller?
Mancow Mueller. That's it. I used to be the ghost of Dean Martin on his show. Mancow, a great guy. He'll be interviewing Michael Manson on the 16th of November for the American Badass movie premiere, along with Jimmy Place, BJ Murray, Ron Onesti. Yours truly, with our band, our new rock band, Mojo's Jukebox, will be opening the show with Nick Sahajas, Chicago's piano man. Go to oshows.com for tickets. It's going to be great. And Michael Manson on tomorrow. We got a couple more minutes or so. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes, right? 12:30, we're going to bring our guest on.
We have 8 minutes, dear.
8 minutes? What do I know?
So Jerry Jam just announced the Costco chicken recall alert has with the hard clear plastic.
Yeah.
Jerry, we buy that one all the time, not always from Costco, but everywhere. So if anyone buys that hard plastic chicken,
get rid of it, right?
Yep.
That's it. Emo, Biden's speech last night was a disgrace, and he wanted everyone together. What a joke. We're not even going to get on that topic today, folks, because we already know where that idiot's going. But what I'm trying to say is, folks, how about some other news? What I like, with all these Thanksgiving right around the corner, and, with inflation, everything going up, groceries going up. They're saying the groceries are going to go up 23% starting the new year in 2023. What thing Aldi's doing, folks? Now, what Aldi's is doing, kudos to Aldi's, because, Thanksgiving, family's expensive. I don't know how many people go out for Thanksgiving dinner, but we cook at home. We bring the family over. We got the 5 kids and everybody, so we have a big bash at the house for Thanksgiving and the holidays. But anyway, what I'm trying to say
every day is a big bash around this house.
Every day. Yeah, it's crazy. So we know, folks, that Aldi is doing this. According to the New York Post, Aldi's, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this. If you're going out ready shopping for Thanksgiving dinner, folks, Aldi's is going to give you the prices of 2019 in 2022.
Fabulous.
That is fantastic.
Thank you, Aldi.
Aldi. So you'll be paying the prices of 2019 for Thanksgiving dinner if you go to Aldi's instead of, for 2022, unless you go somewhere else. But Aldi's is the first one to do it, and that's according to the New York Post. So we're very excited about that. And Twitter, whether you're on Twitter, now you can see the show Ocean's Pit there on the Tony Ocean Show Facebook page, the Mo Carrara page. We're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. And I like Twitter. And now that Elon Musk has got on Twitter, all the celebrities said they're going to be leaving Twitter. Ooh, if he, listen, they're the same people said they were going to leave the country if Trump would become president of the United States. And Barbara Walters is still here. The people from The View are still, I don't even know the name of those people, right? And Whoopi and all those idiots are still here. Robert De Niro, they're not going anywhere. Okay, folks? So what's important to try to say, so now Twitter's going to charge $8 a month. First, they were saying $20 a month to stay on Twitter, but now they're saying maybe $8 a month. I don't know. If it's going to go social media, if it's going to be a freedom of speech platform, which we need, and that's, it's funny. What's really weird, and honey, I know we talk about this all the time. If you don't like the show, you change the channel. When you're at home surfing all day long, right? You change the channel if you don't like the show. If you don't like the radio station, so you change the channel. So it just be free speech. I'm hoping, but we'll see what happens. What do you got, hon?
Well, first of all, a man is urged not to go through. This is again to Newsweek. Newsweek. A man is urged not to go through his wedding because the wife uninvited his parents. The heck is that about?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea why?
Mm-mm.
You didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you why, but I'm going to tell you that is, I mean, I guess it happens. I mean, right? There's individuals that don't invite parents to the wedding.
Well, we know some very close people that might not have wanted to invite their
Very
parents.
close to do that.
Not us, of course.
Of course not. I mean, but it's marriage is tough, man. You know, you would want your mom and dad there, hopefully.
I would
think
hope
you
so too. I would be broken. I would be devastated if my kids didn't want me there.
But I know there's people that don't.
Oh, yes, we do.
We don't talk to moms and dads, and I don't know. It's just
Life's
crazy.
too short for all of that too. Guys,
Love that.
never stop being a good person. Just be mindful about who you're good to. Givers have to set boundaries because takers won't.
Well, thank Carol for
I
sending
like
that out from
one.
Hillside.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol, for sending that out. They had to sell all my stock on Twitter because it isn't going public yet. Oh, there you go.
See, I'm not real familiar with Twitter. I know there's all these tweets and everything else, but I'm not real familiar with Twitter.
We were just talking about the changes and everything that's going on here and coming up in Chicago in the new year, of course, 2023. Governor Pritzker saying there'll be no cash bail now. Now, it's been happening for a long time, since 2020. You know, if you commit murder, no cash bail. Now, it's up to the judge. I was just talking to Jerry yesterday, Jerry Jams, and just it's up to the judge to say, let this guy, if he's a risk. But I mean, just stuff that they're coming up with now in our poor city. What's happened to the greatest city in the world? What has happened? I mean, it's got to go. They all have to go. And that's all there is to it. I mean, I can't even come up with the stuff that people are coming.
Welcome, Angela from Fishers, Indiana.
Angela from Fishers. Piggly Willy Groceries is also great. Oh, all right.
Good to know, Dennis.
Dennis, there you go. Appreciate it. Commit murder, and 2 hours later, you're eating a steak. It's ridiculous. Jerry, it's crazy, man. And that's why we need a change. And that's why we got to start. We got to start. And little by little, we're going to have to start, folks. Ocean Spit, little show about big things. Hon, I know it's crazy, and I was going to get into all this stuff that's going on because there's so much more to talk about. But you know what? Here, you know what it's time for? Let's do this fast before we bring up our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it's time for? You know what it's time for. Your favorite of mine, it's time for That's Suspicious. And that's suspicious, folks. Our government, ladies and gentlemen, sent $1.1 million to dead people. They sent stimulus checks to dead people. I'm wondering how many of those folks also voted absenteeism. That's suspicious. Really, $1.1 million stimulus checks sent to dead people, folks. How many of those dead people probably voted? Now, if I heard right, and I could, my facts are not the best, folks. That's why I love you, because you guys always correct me.
Fact checkers.
You guys are fact checkers. But what I love about you folks is they said there was more votes than actually people in the United States in our last election.
That's what we heard. And that's suspicious.
Right. So that's just one thing. It's crazy. One more thing, because this is funny. You can't make this shit up, folks. You can't make this shit up. Our President Joe Biden, or the President Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen, says that he spoke to the inventor of insulin in one of his speeches. But the inventor of insulin died before President Joe Biden was born. Yes, physician and scientist died at the age of 49. He was born February 21st, 1941. He died at the age of 49. Joe Biden was born 11/20th, 1942. He wasn't even born yet, but he said he's born. That's what I mean. You can't make this shit up. You know what? The stuff that we've been seeing lately, folks, in the last maybe 2 years, these are perfect skits for old Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I would just love to see that. Very important. All right. So without any further ado, and you know what? Most of the guests we have on, politics is really not my thing. I'm not that good at that kind of stuff, as you guys know.
But he has an opinion.
But we have
and we all know that.
And we have it. But we have two gentlemen that are on the show, and we're going to start them. Let's see if we bring them on. Now, first, let's see, we got them both here.
Yep.
I'm going to bring them both on. We got Republican nominee, Supreme Court District, Mark Curran. Ladies and gentlemen, is coming on.
Bottom one.
Bottom one is Mark. So let's see if we get him on the show. There's Mark. How you doing, sir?
It's Tommy.
Oh, Tommy. I'm sorry, Tommy. Then Mark would bring up Tommy. Then we'll bring up Mark too. I'm sorry, guys. How you doing? Tommy, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Am I
want to
the
thank
first
you for-
one or the second one?
You will be the first one because I haven't got. We tried to get Mark on here and he hasn't jumped on yet. So since I have you here, Tommy, first of all, congratulations on your nominee here, folks. You're running for U.S. Congress, Tommy Hanson, 5th District. Just leave it up to you, Tommy. We know it's important. Tuesday's coming up, November 8th. It's very important for everybody to go out and vote. 22 million early votes have already been in. 45% have been Democrats, 33% have been Republican. So we need everybody to go out and vote. Tommy, what is your agenda if you get elected, sir?
Well, I call it Tommy's top 3. And when I get elected, number 1, I want to open the Keystone Pipeline. And I want to accelerate oil and gas production to become energy independent. Number 2, I want to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act. And I want to eliminate the 87,000 armed IRS agents that are coming after you. And number 3, I will do everything humanly possible to stop the reenactment of Agenda 2030. And I'll do this by working with congressmen across the U.S., conservatives like Mark Green from Tennessee, Congressman Clay Higgins from Louisiana, and Mayra Flores.
Sorry about that, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, I know. Crazy. Go ahead, sir.
I hope your dog likes my.
Yes, he loves you. He loves you. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So once again, I'm in the Illinois 5th Congressional District, and it runs from downtown Chicago, River North, part of Streeterville, Gold Coast, Wrigleyville, out to O'Hare Airport, through Park Ridge, Des Plaines, out to Barrington area. And it's an area of about 740,000 people, and 350,000 people vote. And I go out every morning to the subways, the red line, the blue line, the brown line, the Metro, and I meet with all the riders, and I pass out my flyers. In the last couple of months, I've probably passed out 20,000 flyers, and probably 50,000 people have seen me. So the reaction is really good. Most people in general, I'd say 70, 80% like the fact that I'm out there doing this. And we have a good social media campaign going on, and we feel very positive.
Well, Tommy, that's fantastic. You're out doing what you're doing. And just joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, Supreme Court District Republican nominee, Mark Curran for Liberty. Mark, how you doing, sir?
Good, Tony. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thanks for being on, guys. I know you're probably doing tons of these kind of shows, and I appreciate my good friend Michelle Rocco for putting this all together.
Yes,
I'm going to ask Mark the same questions I asked Tommy. What is your agenda if you get elected?
Well, Tony, so I'm running as a Republican. For the last 58 years, the Illinois Supreme Court has been 4-3 Democrats to Republicans. So basically, they've killed all this good government on a 4-3 margin. You know, there was a fair maps that went through, a referendum that they got on the ballot, and then the Illinois Supreme Court said, no, we're going to let the General Assembly decide that. And one issue after another has been decided on that basis. And my opponent received $500,000 from J.B. Pritzker. The Republicans are in a super minority status in both the House and the Senate, both chambers in Illinois. And so even if Darren Bailey gets elected, they have enough votes to override any veto. So we're a lopsided state. J.B. Pritzker gave $500,000 to my opponent for one reason. He knows that she'll vote the way he wants. She's gotten hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from trial lawyers and all these other special interests. You know, they don't just throw money around. They give money. They vet who they write checks to, and they like what they see. So if people want to balance in Illinois, they think it's a bad idea to have one progressive group ruling all three branches, then, they should consider voting for me if they live in District 2. District 2 is Lake, McHenry, Kane, Kendall, and DeKalb. I was a longtime sheriff of Lake County, Illinois. As a former county, state, and federal prosecutor, I've tried more juries than just about any lawyer out there.
Well, Mark, let me ask you something. Do you believe that, why do you think do you see more younger generation of people voting, or do you think a lot of people don't vote? And why do you think they don't vote?
Yeah, I mean, I have 3 boys. I just think that when you have, what's going on in terms of the left and the progressive nature and the way that they demonize the country and, essentially take away any sense of patriotism or any sense of what a great gift they have to be an American. I mean, you're of Italian descent. I ran for U.S. Senate when they were down there pulling down the Columbus statute, and just absolutely. And nobody defends Christopher Columbus, who was so much to do with the inception of America. And from a Catholic perspective, he dedicated his voyage to Our Lady. That's why the ships are named the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I mean, he was.
Yes.
It was guided by his voyage was guided by the Holy Spirit. He did great work, but that's all gone. What's true is false in their world, and essentially it's the fact that they don't really subscribe to natural law. So there is no such thing as an objective truth. I decided this morning, Tony, that I'm a woman. I'm going to go use the girls' washroom. How does that make
Yeah, how does that make you feel? And same with Tommy. What do you think, sir? I mean, why do you think do you see them voting? Why do you think they don't want to vote? They don't care. And just one of the things that we said that we've been saying this show from day one: if you don't vote, you lose your right to bitch. And I hate to use that type of language, but that's what it is. Oh, we don't need to vote. It is what. Tommy, what do you think? What do you think about all this thing going on?
Well, I agree. When you vote, it gives you an option to discuss it in public, but when you don't vote, it's kind of like, why bother talking about politics to anybody if you're not involved? And Chicago has about the largest population of 20 and 30-year-olds in the country, and many of them come here because there are great schools and businesses and great social life and culture, but all of that's been shut down, and many of the young people today are fearful of going out at night, and it's not the Chicago they came here for, and that's enough of an incentive for them to stand up and vote the right way. And when you have the Chicago police totally discouraged and fearful that they could get suspended for doing anything, dotting an I or crossing a T, that shows that the city's not safe anymore, because we've lost supposedly 3,000 police since 2019, and that puts the city in an unsafe situation. And people want to feel safe. They want to be able to walk around and do everything they want to do, but that's not the case anymore. So when I meet people on the subways, because it's the fastest way for me to meet people every morning, I meet the people, and they seem really appreciative that I'm there. I'm a Republican in a Democrat city. And this is the first time in 30 years, I believe, that there's this strong possibility that losing is not an option, that we'll do this.
Yeah, well, you know what? Also, just like you said, it is a scary. I mean, Chicago, one of the greatest cities in the world, and I'm surprised with everything that's going on. They refuse to bring in the National Guard. We were doing the Columbus Day Parade. I've doing it for the last 15 years. We just did. Now it's armed guards. You see people at all the festivals. It's a scary world we're living in, and it just needs to change. Absolutely. Another question I want to ask you both. Let's start with Mark. Mark, do you believe in the mail-in voting? Do you think it's the right thing to do? Do you think it's fair? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, right. So as a Supreme Court justice, I'm not going to say how I would rule on anything, but do I have a personal opinion with regards to mail-in voting? Yeah, I think it lends itself to fraud, and I think that's been proven out, and that's part of the problem is that you need a driver's license for everything other than to vote. I mean, it's ripe for fraud, and I spent all those years as a sheriff and as a prosecutor, and human nature is flawed. I'm not going to trust that people are going to honor the process when there's no safeguards.
No, absolutely. And Tommy, what do you think on that mail-in vote? Do you think people should just go to the polls like you're supposed to, or do you believe in the mail-in vote?
I believe in the absentee ballot where you have to have, and I really like the idea of people going to the polls, but sometimes people can't. They may be ill, they may be traveling, they
Sure.
may just not be able to make it. And I think the absentee ballot is a whole lot different than a mail-in ballot.
Mhm.
The absentee ballot, your signature has to be your signature on that ballot, and I'm fine with an absentee ballot.
Yeah, it's almost like when you receive a package at the door, you don't get it till you sign for it. I totally agree with that. How about what they're saying now? This is in New York City. I don't know if they're going to start doing it here, but trying to get people that are non-citizens to vote. What are they thinking on that, gentlemen?
It defies logic because
I was just going to say.
America is a country of citizens, and why are we giving up our sovereignty to illegal immigrants that are coming over and voting? They weren't taught the Constitution or civics. They don't know the rules of the road. So why are we doing that? It doesn't make any sense.
And I know they're coming out. Mark, I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, Tony, I think that, the problem is that those powers not expressly stated in the Constitution are reserved for the states, the reserve clause. And consequently, we've allowed elections to be left up essentially to local municipalities and states and what have you. And it's all over the place what happens. And we see, especially in big cities, there's so much potential theft of elections. And this just makes it, even worse. I mean, they have no stake in the game if they're not a citizen. That's not, they came here illegally. I mean, I'm not saying that we need to deport every single one of them or anything, or that there can't be a process, but
Sure.
they should be voting.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Like we got Christina just asked a great question. I don't understand why you don't have to show a valid photo ID to vote. Why?
You can go to the voting booth and just say your name, and they'll give you your voting ballot. And it could be somebody else could show up and vote for you. And
Yeah.
I don't understand either what is wrong with showing a driver's license or
Yeah.
some sort of government ID.
It's the same thing. Checking out.
I think that, obviously, Tony, what I would say is that that process allows itself for fraud, and they like it because they calculated that they're going to be Democrat voters. But I think that they're starting to miscalculate with regards to that. And we see that Latinos are running to the Republican Party in droves, that they want nothing to do with this whole woke culture, and they want nothing to do with people that don't work and what have you. So our country, there's a lot of reasons for hope.
Well, gentlemen, we have a big day coming up in 5 days. Of course, everybody needs to go out and vote Tuesday, November 8th. You need to vote for these guys. It's very important. Supreme Court, Mark Curran, and U.S. Congress, Tom Hansen. I want to thank Tommy Hansen. I want to thank you guys for being on the show. Anything last thing you guys want to say before you leave the show today?
Just like you said, Tony, they need to get out and vote. Everybody needs to get out and vote. As Ronald Reagan said, freedom's one generation away from being gone. And we'll take prayers too, because I think that we're on the right side of things.
Absolutely. What about you, Tom? Anything?
I totally agree with that option. We're at a crossroads for Chicago and Illinois, the whole country. Losing is not an option.
No, we have to make a change, and now is the time to do it, folks. Remember, you need to go out Tuesday on November 8th. It's very important, and it's like the gentleman said, like everybody's saying, if you don't vote, you lose the right to bitch. And I hate to use that word, but it is what we need to do. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. I know you're very busy. I wish you the best of luck. God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Supreme Court District Mark Curran, you look, everybody from Republican, and don't forget U.S. Congress Tommy Hansen, 5th District. Very important to go out and vote on Tuesday, November 8th, man. And I was saying, honey, with 22 million early votes, like I said, 45% Democrat have already voted, and 33% Republican. Now they're saying the Republicans wait to the last minute to vote. I don't know if that's the case, but we need to get on our asses and go
Well, I
vote.
wanted to ask too, and I didn't want to, but it's like, how could we reassure that the absentee ballots are being handled properly. Is there a way? I don't even know.
I don't know. Vote change. It's Lake Geneva. You must register, show driver's license, a written ballot. Thank you, General. I appreciate that, Robert. But also remember, even what Albert said from the Ronald Ness, he said they do ask for your address. But you know what? Like I said, if there's no ID, I can give anybody's address.
I wonder if anybody's ever went in to try to vote and their name was already taken or their address has already been given. I don't know.
That's a good point there, honey. It's pretty. How about this, folks? November 3rd, 2016, your Chicago Cubs won the World Series. How about that for all you Cub fans out there? Honey, now this was a question that was under 2 kids. Now you had 5 when you first got, of course, you got married, you raised 5 children. Here it says if you have 2 kids and you had $10, what would you give them? What can you get for dinner?
McDonald's!
For $10?
There's a dollar menu.
Well, what if this is
And
only
it's
2
my
kids?
guilty pleasure.
But this is only 2 kids. I don't know. I want to say Scott for
Then
saying
you
this.
have leftover. You have
Then
money
you-
left over.
Then you have leftovers.
dessert.
Folks. You need something. Absolutely. I want to thank my good friend, Michelle Rocco. If she's still watching from high school, The Rock. She's the best. Thank you, Michelle, for putting these 2 gentlemen on the show. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all the work that you do, Michelle. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I love this. And you know what? Charlie sends us in from. You got to love this. South Holland, Illinois says, and it's funny because South Holland, Illinois is completely dry. It's a completely dry town. You
I
can't
didn't
drink.
know there was a such thing.
South
anymore.
Holland is completely dry. Anyway, send us in. Alcoholics Anonymous, my ass. She goes, I knew everybody at the meeting. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I can see that.
That is funny, folks. What do you got, honey? You got to have some good stuff here, honey.
I'm sure I wasn't. Some of the stuff he gave me, I didn't want to talk about with those
Well,
gentlemen on the phone.
That's okay. On the phone?
I mean, on the
Yeah,
line.
On the line.
I
Okay.
figured we wait. They can watch it later.
They can watch it later, yeah.
All right. So, kids.
Oh, what do you got, honey? Yeah.
Well, my husband. This is
a great joke. Come on.
This is what he gives me to talk about.
It's funny.
Breaking news. A man was admitted to the hospital today with 25 plastic toy soldiers inserted in his rectum. Doctors has described, honey.
Sorry, but you're knocking everything over. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
He just ruined the whole thing.
Go ahead. You say it again without.
Breaking news.
Yes, go ahead.
A man was
Amen.
admitted to the hospital today with 25 plastic toy soldiers inserted in his rectum. Doctors have described his condition as stable.
Oh, God. You got to love that. See?
So
I mean,
even the news people did say it on the news, and the picture shows them both cracking up.
they're
So I
cracking
don't even
up.
know
You
where
see
this
what I
comes
mean,
from.
though? I'm talking
Thank you,
about,
Murray.
thank you, but talking about jokes. It's fun. It's just back in the day. It's fun jokes. Everybody gets so on
Okay,
eggshell.
then let's talk about this joke.
Go ahead.
The wife says, shall we try a different position tonight? The husband says, excellent idea. The wife says, okay, you stand at the sink and wash dishes, and I'll sit on the sofa and watch TV.
Boom, boom, boom. Well,
There
come on.
we go.
How many women actually sit there and wash dishes anymore? I mean, you know what? We rinse
Fill the
them off and we
dishwasher.
put them in the dishwasher. But you ever notice those commercials?
Your
that-
mama does.
Yeah, you know those. My mother does, of course. Those commercials, they say all you need to do is no wipe. Just put the tablet
That's
in.
bullshit.
That's crap. That's bullshit.
I have never had a dishwasher that's done that.
Never.
And I've had 5 children, and I've had things that didn't work dry. They never come out right. I got to always clean first.
How about this, folks? Oh, this is pretty good. Popeyes chicken. If you're into Popeyes chicken, folks, Popeyes chicken is giving away free chicken, all chicken sandwich for this week. Popeyes chicken is giving away free sandwiches,
Ooh.
free chicken sandwich for the whole week. So go out to Popeyes.
Cheers, everyone. Natalie
chicken.
came through with the goods.
Came out with the goods. We got some celebrity birthdays today. Today is November 3rd. The great Jeremy Brett, who played Sherlock Holmes in the BBC, said one of my favorite actors and one of my favorite figures, of course, historical literature guys, of course. Of course, we know that Sherlock Holmes wasn't a real person, but he was made after Dr. Joseph Bell, who was a real person. Anyway,
Wait, you
Jeremy
said
Brett.
Sherlock Holmes wasn't a real person?
No, Sherlock Holmes was not a real person, but it was based off a guy named Dr. Joseph Bell, who had the same instincts in detective. Yes.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah, it is. Anyway, you're just busting my chops. Anyway, 89 years old. Stephanie Powers One
Oh,
of my
I
own
loved her.
heart
She always
heart.
had that cool big
Yeah,
hair.
she always looked beautiful. I always liked her. 80 years old today. Got one of my favorites, honey. You know, one of my favorite sci-fi guys is sci-fi, science fiction. Whose birthday do you think it is today? 68 years old. He's big. He's green. He smashes towns.
The Hulk?
No, Godzilla celebrates 68 years of birthday today, folks. Do you believe this? Unbelievable.
Is Godzilla real?
Burt Lancaster celebrates a birthday today. For you NFL football, Dallas Cowboy fans, Connor McGovern celebrates a birthday. How about Kendall Jenner celebrates a birthday? She's the daughter of Bruce Jenner, correct?
Correct.
And she's a woman or she's a man?
Well, today I think she's still a woman.
Roseanne Barr, the lady who tells it like it is, turned 69 years old today. Dolph Lundgren, of course, who played with Rocky, played the Russian guy in the Rocky 3. And Colin, whether you like him or not, Colin Kaepernick, former NFL player, the man who started a lot of discussions and stuff for the NFL, celebrates a birthday, 39 years old today. Absolutely. What do you got? You got some story. You got something that's really good. It's especially with people that are family.
I just wanted to say hello to my Rosemary. I seen her come over, and I didn't get to say anything because those gentlemen were on, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, that's
hello,
okay.
Rosemary.
Say hello, who?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary and Seymour.
1, life is short. Take the trip. Buy the shoes. Eat the cake.
Get the job. Then you can do all that stuff.
I just want to eat the cake.
You just want to eat the cake. All right. This is the one I was going to tell you. Yeah, right here, honey. Oh, sorry, you get that. I love this, because this is when I call about bullying. We talk about bullying on the show. Bullying is the worst thing. Did you see when the dog came on? Even our poor. Did you see that?
I know.
Yeah. You guys just
Ocean's Pit is moving again.
got to move to a quieter place.
We're going to put him in a quieter
Very
part of the
quiet.
house.
Anyway, this is according to Daily Dot. Honey, read about it.
I was just publicly insulted in front of my whole team. Workers say her boss belittled her in front of 25-person team after she submitted her 2-week notice.
Now, what is the reason for that? And if it's bad enough, all right, already. It's bad enough, folks, ladies and gentlemen, that if you have to belittle somebody in the office one-on-one. But here, this poor woman was belittled in front of all her coworkers because she gave her 2 weeks notice. We need to stop that.
I'm trying.
Oh, God.
Honey, you guys need to stop.
Eat the cake. It's right, Natalie. Eat the cake. Oh, no. You just let them out. Now it's going to give it a lot worse. All right. So, help me, Lord. Help me. Why? No sponsors? I've asked them, why don't you ask for an ID? Oh, okay. There you go. Christine Stugg talking about some voting situations there, folks. You got, okay.
Go ahead, honey. Just do the show. I can only watch the dogs or do that.
Okay. You want to talk about people doing some good things? Now, this is a kid on Halloween. Now, Halloween, kid candy, we talk about this. Kids go out, they get kid candy because it's a reward for the kids because of the holiday. They come to the door, you put candy in there, everybody's happy. The families are happy, the moms are happy, the kids are happy. But what about this kid? There's those doorbell cameras that a lot of people have where you can see what's going on when someone goes near your home. We have one of our stuff, that alarm goes off every 2 minutes at our house. But anyway, it was a pretty cool. Kudos to this kid. I wish I can find his name, but anyway, we found a little boy going on the doorbells, with the camera doorbells, going to different homes, and sometimes people would not answer the door. Some people would just leave a bucket or a pail or something out front with candy so the kids can help themselves. They spotted this young little boy dressed up as Spider-Man filling the bowls, empty bowls with candy so the other kids can enjoy. Tell me that's not cool, because a lot of kids would have grabbed that candy and put it to themselves.
I don't know if you guys are on the Nextdoor app. They have them in different neighborhoods. I have watched more Nextdoor apps of people showing these teenagers taking the candy out of their front yard. Well, guys, unfortunately, the world we're in right now, you cannot leave your candy unattended outside.
Yeah,
and it's a shame, but that's what they're all showing. Like, this is a big thing that they think it's not going to happen, and it does happen. Kids are going to be kids.
Kids are going to be kids. Karen Dean says, I voted and no ID was required.
Really?
Just ask for your address. Vote on Tuesday. Probably because you're already registered with the address you provided. That could be it too. There's hope for the future with the kids, that the little boy, right, Dawn?
That is a great thing.
That's hopefully they can give a little lesson to the other boys. Folks, it's better to be real and lose what is fake, to be fake and miss out on what is real. Love that quote from
Nice.
Jeremy from Joliet, Illinois, or Joliet, how you guys pronounce it. Wow, that's amazing. And this could be a sign of change. This could be a sign of change, folks. According to Fox News, 25-year-old Republican. He's running. This woman is running for congresswoman. It'll be the youngest woman to run for congresswoman, 25 years old. She's changing it. She's changing it. She wants the people to wake up, telling her the people of woke, for the younger generation, that they're sick of all this hypocrisy that's going on right now. So kudos to her, man. Caroline Levitt from New Hampshire, 25-year-old, be the youngest woman, 25, and she's saying we're sick of this. Now here's a bunch of what she's feeling with the generation of, you know what? There's got to be a change.
Person with some following, and they want to do the right thing. You
That's
make some
what we
big
need.
changes.
That's what we need. Balls is what we need.
We need some ballsy young people.
Honey, you got something there,
I need
something you can tell the
what?
people when you're not looking. And you.
Well, because I'm trying to babysit.
I know. Forget the
dogs.
babies. Leave them where they're at, outside, basement. Do what you got to do. Okay. Here was a couple things right here, honey.
I know
Now,
what are we going to talk about?
this is what I'm going to tell you. Now, couple little easier things around the house to make things easier. Now, sometimes you give kids strawberries, honey, and they don't want to eat it. There's telling certain things you can do. It's pretty interesting stuff, man. I like this. So simply insert a straw from the bottom of the berry and twist it. If you have a kid who doesn't eat strawberries unless it's cored, give them a straw and let them have fun doing it themselves.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Where is there you go. Scrub produce with baking soda. Now, you get your baking soda, you bring it up, you bring your
because half your produce has pesticides on it anyway.
But we don't wash it. We bring it home, folks. And when we were doing this in 2020, we were supposed to scrape everything, wash everything down. But folks, scrub produce with baking soda by adding a couple of teaspoons of baking soda and a half a cup of water. You will have yourself an all-natural produce scrub. Combine the mixture with large mixing bowl and add ingredients, spray bottle. Now that is cool. See, that's just little stuff that we're learning. How about the melt your ice on your driveway, folks? Snow's coming. Ice is coming. If you place a place where you live, it depends. Icy winters. Now, ice, they're going to put salt on there. Of course, it makes the ice melt faster. But it's also bad for the roads. Like in Wisconsin, I don't know if you knew this, honey, they threw sand on the road. They don't throw ice. So what they're saying is during the winter, it's very common to find pipes that are frozen. So
did you talk about WD-40 already?
WD-40, that's it right here. Yeah, WD-40.
Did you talk about that already?
No, we're doing it right now. You spray it on your pipes to loosen it.
Also around your windows to get webs and to get spiders from coming in your windows. It said to use WD-40.
Another thing too, folks, if you have a beloved piece of cookware and it's been burned too much, and I don't know how much we've thrown away already.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, folks, no fear, baking soda can save it. Rubbing the baking soda over the burnt part
Never tried
can
that.
restore the pan. We got to maybe remember that for the future. As soon as you get home from the farmer's market, pick your favorite herbs from your own garden, simply chop them up. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, honey. You know how you buy parsley sometimes? And you leave
Cilantro
it and it gets bad?
yep.
Look what they do it here. You put it in, get this, as soon as you get home,
In your ice cube trays.
yes, and freeze them. You put in olive oil and with your ice cube trays, put it in there and freeze them. You take them out, you'll have it fresh. It will
I
never
like that.
go bad. You gotta love that. Remove. Here you go, folks. I'm trying to teach a lesson to my wife Laura and my sister-in-law Natalie. The biggest number one grease remover. The number one grease remover. If your clothes or anything have grease stains, you can actually get rid of them with Coca-Cola. For the best results, apply lightly on a fresh grease stain and let it sit for a few minutes. Coca-Cola removes grease.
So, in other words, my esophagus is very clean
So,
right now.
but tell me that you're bitching about my cigars and my Jack Daniels.
I don't bitch, I
Please,
just don't
please,
like the
folks,
smell.
please, please, please. Oh, now that you list a couple simple products you have in your pantry, fill up your cup with your favorite protein shake, smoothie, or cup. Pop a straw in. Okay. There was one here, another thing. Anyway, some decent stuff there. Just little small tips here on Ocean's Pit. Baking soda, water, and burnt pan and boil will lift the burnt food.
Really, Christine?
Wow, Christine. WD-40, absolutely.
Steve.
Westchester does stay on the road. Oh, there you go. Coke removes rust on chrome bumpers, but now no cars have chrome bumpers.
That's because they use too much Coke on them.
They use too much Coke on them. Anyway, folks, it's about that time. It's time for us to go. But before we go, folks, we need to thank our last sponsor, of course, that's Patriot Funding Incorporated. They're out of Roselle, Illinois. Commercial money lending when timing is everything. Patriot Funding Incorporated. 630-675-4730. Call our good buddy Dave Antonelli. Remember, folks, tomorrow we want to thank our guests today. First of all, again, thank you, Michelle Rocco, for putting this together. My good friend from Elmwood Park High School, the great Michelle Rocco. Great work what you do, The Rock. We want to thank Republican nominee, Supreme Court District Mark Curran, for being on our show today, and U.S. Congress 5th District Tommy Hansen for being on our guest. Thank you, gentlemen, and we wish you the best of luck. And remember, folks, Tuesday, November 8th, get off your ass and go vote. It's time to make a change. Absolutely. It's midterm elections. It's very, very important. Folks, tonight we'll be at Zaza's with Jeff Dubray in Lake Barrington. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Jerry Jams. And Saturday, Mojo's Jukebox opening for John Waite downstairs at the Arcada Theater and the party upstairs at the main event later on at 8:30. Anyway, folks, it's been great. Remember the great words of Danny Mazzi: buy local, shop local. Please remember to keep supporting live establishments and local live entertainment. And remember, folks, in the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. Now we're moving our studio.
We are, hopefully by Monday.
God, thank God.
Hopefully
Thank
by
God.
Monday.
We're moving our studios. And tomorrow, tune in to Ocean's Pit. American badass actor Michael Manson will be our guest here, folks.
Boy, we better
He's
make
got
some changes before then.
Get the dogs for a walk, please. The poor senator, the poor Supreme Court, Mark Kieran going, oh, the dog doesn't like me. Tommy Hansen said that. Anyway, folks, what I'm trying to say is it's like doing an exam. Nobody bothers them. So what I'm trying to say is, folks, here's the important thing. You got to tune in tomorrow for Michael Manson, ladies and gentlemen, American badass actor, November 16th. The new movie comes out at the Des Plaines Theater. I hope I get my wife to come to that one. She'll like that. Mike Mancow will be giving Michael Manson some questions and answers, some stuff. BJ Murray, Jimmy Place. I want to thank BJ and Jimmy. Thank you so much. Ron Onesti, Mojo's Jukebox will be performing to kick off the show with Nick Hodges, the piano man.
Nick
So
will be in the
Michael
house.
Manson will be on our show tomorrow on Ocean's Pit. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much. The great words of Ringo Starr. Peace and love. Peace and love. God bless you. Have a great day. Say good night, honey.
Good night, honey. Have
Good
a
night,
great
everybody.
afternoon, everybody. See
Thank
you
you so
next
much.
time.
God bless you.